Şimdi bu bölümde çok değerli isimlerle birlikte olacağız. İnovasyonu konuşmaya devam edeceğiz. Ama biraz inovasyonla tasarımı buluşturacağız. Hem inovasyon hem tasarım, yani işin içine biraz sanat da girecek. Teknoloji ve sanatın belki de bir buluşması diyebiliriz. Bu bölümde değerli moderatörümüz, insan inovasyon tasarımcısı Sayın Arzu Kaprol'ü değerli alkışlarınızla sahneye davet etmek istiyorum. Delft University of Technology Profesörü Sayın Kasper Jansen. Yine alkışlar lütfen. Style 3D Assist Genel Müdürü Hans Peter Heimer. Alkışlarla. Ve İnovamar kurucu ve CEO'su Sayın Merve Aydıner'i de kıymetli alkışlarınızla sahneye davet etmek istiyorum ve oturumu başlatıyorum. Buyurun.
Sevgili dostlar, misafirler, izninizle konuklarımızın büyük bir çoğunluğu, bu session'daki çoğunluğu yabancı olduğu için sohbetimize İngilizce devam edeceğiz. Welcome dear friends and guests. Today our target from this session is to influence Turkish industry authorities and young fresh minds of our industry to create a better future for our industry, for our country, for our world. I define my job as human innovation design with a consciousness and responsibility of surrounding our only physical existence, our bodies. Yes, we do design and create an object, a piece of textile, to protect and reflect and accompany our bodies, our sole physical existence. And I believe we can create this task better, with a better consciousness and with the help of technology. That is why today we have different perspectives from the technological side of the industry, and let me introduce our guest speakers. We are very happy to have Professor Kasper Jansen from Delft Technical University, in charge of wearable technologies, whom I am impressed by their projects they collaborated regarding our industry. We are very happy to have Merve Aydıner, founder and CEO of Invamar, a visionary entrepreneur working on smart textiles. I can't wait to share with you her vision. And our last guest speaker will be Hans-Peter Heimer, General Manager of Style 3D Assist. Kaspar, the stage is yours.
Okay, thank you very much. I also want to thank for having invited me here. What I want to present now is the kind of research that we do in our university, and that's research about smart textiles. So textiles with integrated sensors and textiles with extra functionalities. And I also want to do this just to show you, to stimulate you to think about what you can do more with textiles. Just imagine a shirt that you put on which takes care of you, which measures your health, which warns you if you need to do some extra exercises because you have been sitting too long at your desk. And maybe textiles which can help you control your temperature, which can cool you down a little bit, or which can heat you up when it's cold outside. So that's what I'm talking about. So textiles, we all know, they are there to protect us. It's close to your body. But just because of that, you can do more with it. You can use it, the textiles to your body, you can use it as a kind of interface. Yeah? The textiles can measure, can give information about your body, your heart rate, your breathing rate, health conditions. Not only for health, but also enhancing other performance, for sports, for example. And I'll show you some examples now. So this is a picture, a sketch about the future of smart textiles, just enhancing interaction and monitoring of your personal health. There are plenty of opportunities for you as textile producers to do something new, to do something innovative. Yeah, so there are new opportunities, but still also some challenges. Yeah? Some of the challenges that there are, for example, mass production and the integration of the electronics. Until now, we have been talking about smart textiles and sensor textiles for 10, maybe 15 years. In our labs, we showed that it's possible to have sensors integrated, but in the market, you do not see so many products yet. And one of the problems is the mass production. Electronics are produced by electronics industries, textiles are produced by you, and then the speed of production is different. You produce it at high volumes, electronics goes much slower. When it comes together, you need to make connections, you need to do the soldering, and there the scaling up for mass production usually goes wrong. There are a few solutions, I will show you some of them, but this is one of the challenges still. Other thing is that consumer expectations are very high. If you buy this new fitness shirt which measures your health during sports, you pay, I don't know, 200, 300 euros for it, and then sometimes after 5 times washing, it's already broken. You don't want to have that. And this reliability, yes, that is one of the other issues which needs to be solved. If you integrate a little bit of electronics, you have hard to soft interfaces, and during washing and during wearing, usually there it gets broken. There are solutions to it, but we have to work on that. And the last thing that I mentioned here is the lack of standardization. Electronics is produced according to certain standards. They have to withstand maybe 60 degrees Celsius, 60 degrees humidity, but it's not equal to washing, to the conditions in a washing machine. So there must be similar standards, joint standards for the electronics industry as for you, the textile industry. Some of the solutions, and I now come up with a list. First thing is just add existing electronics to our body. But that's, maybe they did at the start, at the beginning, but that is not what we want. We want to have it more integrated because it must be comfortable to wear. So the other thing is try to integrate electronics into yarns. This is something which is ongoing at universities and research institutes. Yes, they work on it. Sometimes they publish something that they have integrated, for example, LEDs in yarns, but that is still at a research stage, so still not suitable for mass production. Other thing is integrating the electronics on flexible foils and then sealing that to the textile. So this is a tendency which indeed may work. Electronics industry is like this, that in the past they had rigid PCBs, printed circuit boards, then they went to flexible ones, and now they have even stretchable ones, and they can put all the electronics there. The problem is, if you have more than 5 or 6 sensors in your shirt, then you need all the interconnection, you need it all to have from this stretchable rubbery material. And that's not comfortable. If you wear it and if you start to sweat, it's going to itch. So that's also not, I think, the real solution. Another one is modular systems. So trying to have all the electrical interconnections in your shirt. How that can be done? Well, if you just have a knitting machine and you have conductive yarns, instead of using colored yarns, you use conductive yarns. You knit it, or you weave it, and then you can weave or knit conductive paths in a shirt. And then, for some of the sensors, you need electronics for sensing. Then with this modular approach, what you should do is try to produce separately the shirt with the integrated connection pathways and the electronics. The user who buys such a smart shirt gets a box with the textile shirt and separately the electronic components, which can be, with a click system, should be able to attach to your shirt. Then if you use it during daily life, then okay, it should be comfortable to wear. But if you, for example, want to wash it, you can click the electronics off, wash it, and when you use it later, you can do that again. So that is also a good strategy to use. Another possibility is to go to textile-based sensors, and about that I will give you, give you a bit more details. I'll give you some examples, because that is the type of thing that I try to do in my lab. So, sensors, measuring, for example, heart rate, measuring breathing rate, or measuring movement, motion of your limbs. This can be knitted. Usually this type of textile sensors are based on very simple physics principles. For example, change of resistance or change of capacitance, which can be measured with very simple electronics. You need always a little bit of electronics, so that can be small, the size of a euro coin. Electronics can be small. With that, you can detect stretching, moving, touch, pressure, but also, for example, moisture, sometimes also temperature, and heartbeat signals, for example. And also, it can measure your posture and how you sit, if you stand. The toolkit, what you need for that is just conductive yarns. Those are commercially available, you can buy it. It's a bit more expensive than standard yarns, but I expect that it will become cheaper over time. And then standard knitting or weaving machinery. The type of the knitted stretch sensors, the knitted strain sensor, what we did in our lab is like this. We knit the conductive yarn in. The yarn itself has no functionality. The only thing that it does is that it conducts current. But because of the knitting structure, the structure of the loops which overlap, it changes resistance if you stretch it. The resistance gets larger, and if you release it, it comes together because you add also some elastic yarns. So what we did, we made this kind of stretch sensor, which can be just knitted into your shirt. We made that without hysteresis, and that is a technical term telling that if you stretch it, you get the same signal as if you release it. That is needed, for example, if you have a glove, you want to measure a finger movement. If the finger is halfway, you need to know if it comes from this direction or the other direction. And that problem is what we solved. And then here are some examples what you can do with it. You can make a sleeve or a shirt which can measure if your arm moves. For example, it can help you with some physiotherapy exercises where you have to move your arm 20 times to 90 degrees, for example, and the next day you have to do it even more intense. So you can couple it to an app on your phone, and then the garment can coach you and help you and encourage you to do your exercises. We also did a project for smart stockings, measuring the swelling of your legs. Some people, they have problems with that, and then this garment can give you feedback how it goes during the day. And indeed, it can also say, now it's time for you to walk a little bit, to exercise, to get the blood flowing. And your doctor can record it and see how it went from a distance. So you don't need to visit the hospital twice a week or so. Other examples which are relatively simple to do is, for example, a knitted pressure matrix as a cover of a chair, chair of an airplane or a car. Then it can monitor how people are sitting, if they are comfortable, if they are moving a lot. Car manufacturers want to know these type of things. Important thing is that since it is all textile based, it is breathable, it is stretchable, it's soft, no plastics involved. Another project that we did are the sensor shorts or sensor tights. So in this case, we inserted accelerometers in the garment, in the legging, stretchable legging. The sensors are the size, indeed, of a coin, euro coin. And they monitor the movement of your hip, your leg, and your knee. And this was there at first, and we started with it to do it for sports, for football, to prevent injuries during training. Now they are taken up by a small company. Now they are going to produce it. And we expect a lot from this, not only in sports, and not only football, also all other sports where you need to be able to monitor the movement of your legs. Not only there, but also healthcare at home. There are many patients which are ill, suffer from rheumatism or the Parkinson disease, and they need to be monitored at home. And you don't want to have cameras everywhere, so you can just put it on, and then it monitors it, and it detects when you start to walk a little bit different. Yeah, and then also the data be shared with your doctor, so then the doctor can see how your illness is decreasing or hopefully increasing, so it can monitor exactly your movements. I've just 2 slides or so more. Since I wanted to stimulate you to think about it, there are many more things that you can do. In the textile, for example, you can integrate electroluminescence, so the textile can give light, yeah? Can shine in the dark. You can dye, use thermochromic paints for dyeing, and then the temperature, the colors change with temperature. Can also be done with ultraviolet light, or with have a coating on it which is sensitive to moisture, to water. Or, for example, you can just knit in conductive yarns and apply a voltage, 5 volt or so, 8 volt, and then it heats up. So you have a temperature sensor, you have a shirt, and then you can make it such that it heats up when it gets cold, when it senses that you are too cold. Can also be used then, for example, for people with illnesses, which to heat their joints, such that they can use them better. Okay, and with that, I wanted to conclude my presentation.
Thank you. I would like to ask you, like in your presentation, we saw a lot of sensors, but how is the relationship with, while we are talking so much sustainability, how we can refer this with the sustainability, and how can we recycle sensors from the textile-based equipment?
Yeah, thank you. That's a very good question. We are here this conference, we are thinking about future work, reusing, recycling. Yes, and then I'm here just telling to put more electronics and difficult to recycle things in it. Yes, it's in fact our responsibility as designers, as researchers, to already think about that. So then there are different ways that you can work on that. One is use the modular system that I mentioned. Then at the end of life, you can take off the electronics and recycle that in a separate way. The other thing is that now, as conductive yarns, we use usually silver-coated nylon fibers, and you don't want to have silver in it because it's a precious metal, it's expensive, and okay, so in the end you should be able to take it out, which is difficult because those kind of yarns are completely integrated in your environment. So then, what to do? There are other possibilities. Right now, carbon-based yarns are being developed. Carbon-based, for example, carbonized cotton, is also conductive. Yeah? So at different research institutes, they are working on that. And that will be the kind of conductive yarn that we should use in the future. Because then, if you want to recycle it, it is just carbon-based, so you don't need to take those ones out. Yeah? So there are a few solutions to do.
Thank you very much, Casper Jensen. Thank you.
Good. I think it's yours.
Merve Aydıner, we are excited to hear your vision. The stage is yours.
Thank you so much. I hope everybody hears me well. Let me wait my presentation for a second. No, it's not coming. Anyway, while we are waiting it, let's say. Okay, thank you so much. Well, I would like to explain you a little bit more niche area of the smart textiles, which is known as the IoT devices and the IoT textiles. But let's first start with what is IoT in general, because you already hear this term a lot. And I think it's better to understand first, we understand what is the difference between a normal technology product and an IoT product in general. Because in history, we had the refrigerators in our houses, right? And their job is to cool your foods, make them non-spoil, and so on. But today, let's say, I have a refrigerator in my home, and my refrigerator actually can text me a message and tell me that, okay, Merve, you told the oven that you're going to cook a lasagna today? Perfect. But I just checked inside the refrigerator, and there's no tomato sauce. Would you like me to text a message to the market and then ask them to send me a tomato sauce so that you can make the lasagna? I mean, actually, it's very creepy, okay? That my refrigerator texts you the market and then they send me a tomato sauce. But this is the reality. So the biggest thing between a non-smart tech product and a smart product, no, not, IoT smart product, is that these products can talk with you, actually. These communicate with you. And this starts, oops, okay, no, okay. When we start to make things online, we can think they just only have some Wi-Fi connections. Yeah, but it's not only the same thing. You can put a Bluetooth, you can literally make your any type of technology product to talk with another technology product and transfer data and then response. A normal tech product will have some sensors, an IoT product will control the environment. And this is actually a power, and many technology companies know that this is a big power. Why I'm just moving, okay. But why we make everything to be smart? I mean, can't the refrigerators be refrigerators anymore? They can be, but as human beings, we like controlling, okay? We like to control the environment. And if we want to control the environment, we need data to control the things. That's why we have the IoT. And then we have a need of communication. Probably you heard about your friends in the pandemic scene. Many of them started to talk with their television because we require some type of interaction. So we want the objects to talk with us as well, and we want them to be speakable with. That's why we are making the small robots all around. And then we have a psychological satisfaction. As human beings, we love novelty. We like to invent, discovery, and then check this out, and then we are actually satisfied by using this. And one of the favorites of me, let's say, even if the world is going in a very bad situation, let's say, as human beings, we always have the hope and strive to make it better. That's why we are making technology in general. And the final one, which I mostly laugh a lot, as human beings, sometimes we suffer on making the complexity of the task, but I'm not saying that the robots are more clever than us, nope. But when you're going to the doctor, let's say, he's going to check your heart rate, things like that, but he doesn't have an X-ray on his eyes and then check of your X-ray and send you in an MR machine, right? Because the MR is the perfect one that can take your heart's image. So the doctor cannot just act like a Superman to do it for you. So then there comes of the IoT textile concept. Since we understood what is an IoT in general, then why it's the textile part? So textile is the domain part of it. Basically, when we say an IoT textile, your jumper in your wardrobe can actually gossip about you to your cell phone. So let's say that my jumper stays in the wardrobe and then tells my cell phone that, Merve, sit for like 8 hours, and then I checked her spine. Maybe you should tell her to, stand up and then walk around sometime. This is what an IoT textile does in general. But why we need this? Because, for instance, in the whole world, we have chronic diseases people, okay? And most of them die. Unfortunately, they require 24/7 health monitoring. This is only one case. And then we have the athletes or like the sports performance people. They get injured. We don't want them to get injured, so we want to watch them around. And then we have security. You probably know the very famous advertisement of Apple Watch, and when you just open the television, it says, my user fall down, I'm sending the coordinations because I cannot hear from him for 3 minutes. Send an ambulance here. Your garment can do it as well. And then we have the environment interaction. Unfortunately, smartwatch cannot do this because, even if they give a cooling effect, this is just a piece of this, it's not going to work out. So your garment can do it better. And then finally, we have the entertainment. I'm not a big fan of it, but you probably hear gamers. They say, wow, I'm playing Call of Duty and then I want to feel the haptics on myself. I don't like it, but this is another use of it. So, what is the benefit of an IoT in general? In today's world, all of us need personalization, right? Even the Instagram feeds are personalized. All of the companies try to make things personalized because this is the only way to keep your customers loyal to you, which means you need data. Without data, you cannot make anything personal for them. And then the data inside. The data's power is almost known by the technology companies. They even make trading on it, which is a superpower. And then the seamless integration. As human beings, we don't like to always take the phone out of our pocket and blah, blah, blah, blah, blah. So we want to control it from the garment as well. What might be the challenges? Most of the time it's said that the durability concerns. Many companies are a little bit afraid of the washability and things like this, but I would like you to think like this. If your cell phone can live for 3 years, then your smart textile will also be able to live for years because the lifetime of a smart or intelligent textile literally limited according to the electronics as itself. Most of the time we start from the textile and try to go to the electronics, but actually the equation has to be opposite. You have to start thinking with the electronics and then come to the textile. And then we have the data security. We have a lot of hackers, okay? You probably don't think that no one would like to know your ECG, but there will be companies who would like to know it. And that's why if Apple tells one day that my users' data are stolen, it will be bankrupt in 3 days. And then the power consumption. I think this is one of the biggest challenges because most of the time companies come us and say, I want to make a flexible electronic. And then we say, okay, you can do it, but you cannot make the flexible battery, which is still the limitation because the battery is like this. Even if you make the electronics flexible, what are you going to do with the battery? Okay. Finally, I would like to touch to the IoT textiles, but not the textiles. Here is the number. You see the total IoT market, which is $650 billion But I would like to say that the IoT textiles is only just a very small fraction of it. But when you're into the IoT market, congratulations, you're going to compete with Apple, Google, IBM, Watson, and all of them, because they are already making the electronics, and you're just changing the domain of it. So why not making it today, actually? Thanks. Let's go.
Thank you, Merve. What I would like to ask you, as you are part of this journey and you already shifted this into integrated textiles with electronics. So how do you see your vision on not only the sustainability and the aftercare unit of this electronical textiles, smart textiles?
Well,
I think that's a question that all professionals from the university are thinking about it.
Yeah, that's actually a very good question. We always receive it from our potential clients as well. There are ways to make something sustainable. We have to take it into consideration into two sides. You have to think the textile, and then you have to think about the electronics as well. When it comes to the electronics, already there are some certifications which makes you recycle some type of unit. Or there are some type of other groups in, for instance, in the UK, which is named as the makers. They get the electronics, they just repair it, and then they give you the smart product back, which is amazing. And then when it comes to the textiles, we have to think about recycling the metals, let's say, but still, it might be a little bit more easier when we think these categories a little bit different, because the textile domain is hardly different from an electronics domain and a technology domain, which means we have to take them all in their own environments and think them separately and then put them together as a puzzle.
Like the Turkish textile industry is doing in Uşak, mainly.
Yes.
Thank you. Now we are very happy to have Hans-Peter Niemert on our stage. So the stage is yours.
Thank you very much.
Very happy to hear the new concept of Style 3D Assist.
Yes, yes. Thank you very much for the
Thank you.
introduction. I'm super happy to be here, and good afternoon to all of you. It's a big pleasure for me to represent our company in this environment. It's really impressive, and very warm thanks to two gentlemen who made it possible for me speaking here. It's Oktay Aski and Turgay Aski, so it's really a great pleasure that I have the opportunities, and thanks to our distributors in the country who help us to sell our product. And to summarize what we have heard the whole day already, I think I would like to use the opportunity to focus on the two more topics which I think and we in our company think is evident and vital to be able to make this change. We talked so much on the left side of the chart about planet and sustainability. We talked a lot about technology, and I also would like to focus in my presentation a bit more on the fashion. So actually this is our business, and when we have been thinking to renovate our products, to integrate new solutions in our products, our main driver in the question is, how do we win the customer? By making the difference. And now we have to follow a target which is really difficult. So on the one side, we want to be efficient, we want to make money. On the other side, we have to follow the new regulations. And these are targets which are in the normal brain contradictory. And so our target is really to find a way to be sustainable and profitable in a digital ecosystem. And what does this mean? So I usually start with my 4 key takeaways before I try to find a solution, I try to answer a question. First, I would like to know, what is the real must-have? The real must-have in our industry is reduce waste and reduce inventory. So everybody knows the formulas, how much inventory we produce. What happens with the inventory? It's just a destruction of financials. What is the first must-have? Whatever we do in the technology, in the solutions, in the software, we must meet the emotions of our customer, of our consumer. What you see here is all pure digital. It's the current status of technology. Such kind of avatars and pictures you get in a few minutes. And it makes no sense to do such avatars if it's not meeting your consumer's expectations. The second one is you need to really know what your consumer wants. We have heard a lot about fitting and sizing and fabrics and so on. Do you really understand your customer and your consumer? It's the second question. If this is clear, you need to be perfect. Makes no sense to make a new solution in software, in hardware, in fabric, whatever. If it's not perfect, consumer will not buy. So that's, in the end, it needs just to be a perfect match. And whatever you have seen so far has been all digital solutions. There's only one lady now on this picture, which is a real photograph, and I wonder if you can find the one. So it's the lady with the blue jacket, which is a photograph. All others are digital solutions. So this is the standard, what everybody can achieve in a very, very short way. And the question before I start to do this, I would like to know how can I really align with these new raising questions? And this question really is urgent. We have many representatives from the associations here. Everybody in the room knows in the January 25, we have the new laws in Europe, and we need to find solutions to work with this. This is not new. It's a big thing around the world. The change is, how do we work together? And do we really find a way to connect all the people in the supply chain and to connect all the contributors? Under this assumption, planet is the future. What does it mean to be profitable as a company in this environment? I think there are two major parts which will be to be reduced. It's all about environmental, it's all about waste. It's not coming for free. So there will be significant costs. And these costs need to be found and need to be saved in your current way of operation, in your current business model. How to do this in a business model who everybody has, my estimation is cost of goods sold to manage the two left parts in the chart will raise up to 20%. Up to 20% more cost of goods sold. To do all this is a lot of challenge to really change the business model. How to do? We have seen a similar chart already today. I would interpret this a little bit different. And when I was working for the last 45 years in the industry, so it's really, I'm born in the industry and I would like to be longer time still in the industry. What have been the most successful change in the process in companies I have been lucky to work with? We have been able to change drastically the way of working. The natural way of working is we create a lot, we think a lot, we try to sell, then we have sold, and then we think again. We have to reproduce our product and make it work. This will not be the future. Our biggest customers, everybody knows this company, they do many thousands products every day. Every day, many thousands new products. We help them with the creation of the product. The average lead time from an idea of a product to the finalization of a product and to the shipment to you as a customer in Istanbul or in Munich or in Copenhagen is approximately 15 days. From an idea to the manufacturing to the shipment, everything included 15 calendar days. The company is now doing $30 billion per year. It's the biggest fashion company in the world so far. What they have changed? They have changed radically the way of working. They will not sell one piece which the customer would not have liked before. What does it mean for our process in the industry is to shift around the way of working and say, and it's radical. Yeah? So this company had a good chance. They started from zero. We have a different target. We have a working operation, and we need to change the operation. We need to transform the operation. But anyway, the product readiness is the key to it. To have the product really ready before you spend 1 cent of money to buy fabrics, to dye fabrics, or whatever. So what are the solutions to do this? And these are proven solutions with many thousands customers. You see, we need to connect really the two dimensions of our business. The one of the left side you see is the digital world, which needs to be the physical world, the physical world. This needs to be digitized. It's super to have it all digital, but I want to wear it. And on the right side, it's the virtual world. It's super to see it on the screen, but if I will not trust what I see on the screen, I still need to make it real. And Then you can, what I usually do, I just compare the 4 or 5 major stages in the way of working on the sales. How do we sell today? How would I like to sell in the future? Under the assumption my customer will accept this. How will I do my fabrics? How will I do my trims? And at the very end, bring everything together in one solution, from a design with a construction in one solution, not just making nice pictures, make a design, make a construction, run directly my machine, and I want to have all my assets in the system. So just give you a very short video to compare how it can work. So, and this is really short, sorry, only 1 minute, but you can see from a sketch done in the past, how to do it now, really go straight at the end to your cutting machine. And the designer, we know we have all nice tools to work on it, but how to make a tool fancy and sexy that every designer wants to work with it. How to make it easy that the designer has not to think too much about. And to make it safe. If we want to make such kind of a very famous brand code with a lot of difficult products, it's not just making the one thing. We have to have every component under control. Some things we don't have to make, we just pull it from the marketplace, and I want to immediately see how it works. So this is nice for designing. There's many solutions on the market to design it. At the very end, I want to make it. And to make it means I have to have the pattern immediately. Out of the 3D simulation, it needs to press a button and I get my pattern. If I have a pattern, I want to be super efficient in material consumption. So whatever you see, our regular process, and everybody is invited to come to our London-based showroom. It's an integrated design studio plus high-performance printing house plus small sewing operations. We can do 10,000 pieces per week there. Difficult pieces, maybe only 5,000. But at the very end, I want to have this product. And this should be really, really realistic. So this is the one target, really, to find a way to do this. And it's always nice to find new things, but we have to make more money in this system. What we can offer and what we can do is just these 5 big components. We can also find other ones. The first thing is to be much, much faster in the development time. Means my consumer is changing the mind so quickly. They have so many informations, they will not stick to an information for a long time. Consumers will change their mind very fast. We have to be much faster. We need to do much less mistakes. So doing this way, you can really save a lot of emotions in the company, frustrations, take it out of the people's work and make them more successful. And of course, work much more efficient. And some pictures here, of course, you know all these, the quality of the rendering is fantastic in the meantime. So if you compare 3D rendering to a picture, it's perfect. What we offer is to really combine the whole workflow from a design creation part to the collaboration to the very fast marketplace. If somebody is working with us, you just sign in. You have 50,000 assets already on hand, from fabrics to trims, whatever the big companies like this here, they are all online. You just decide what you need. So you work on a European style, on a North American style. You collect your fabrics. If you don't want to make your own fabric, you collect your trims, whatever. And then you start designing. And out of a simple design on the left side, you just continue, and always based on a regular fit. This, I think, is the important message. To make nice pictures, there are a lot of solutions. It must work, so and therefore it must be integrated with the solution. And now we already have heard something about the artificial intelligence solutions which are available now. There's a very short video now. You should watch on the left, on the right side, on the corner. There are 4 sections how we solve this topic. It's very handy, very simple for the users, and the users can just put in some text and you get your result. The user can just take a picture, you get your result. I think to reduce the level of resistance and the level of concerns, for us it's very important to find a way that designers, buyers, merchandisers, CEOs can really find herself again in the workflow. Therefore, we integrated a section, say, give me a sketch, and we just use a sketch. And the fourth section definitely, of course, is give me combinations out of these two ones. And this is not live now, of course, but we could do it immediately. But the second one is now on picture. Put a picture in some seconds, you have your product. You select your categories. This one, I think, is the most important for designers. Work like a designer. Make your combinations. And the fantastic part is, put this one straight away into your 3D simulation, which is in the background, and you have your product immediately ready to work. So it's not just a 2D picture, it's a product which can be worked on. So the last part was, of course, if I do my first trial, the first trial is maybe not the right one what I want, so I can change and do more things on it. And this it's how it looks in real. So the center picture is a real picture. And we just asked yesterday, please give me some comparable pictures, and this is the machine creating. So this is just from the market now, and it's already said in the morning. Of course, this one is very private and can be used on your own premise machines. Again, the trick behind is not just a picture. It's a product. It is on a 3D dummy. It can be immediately constructed, and out of the construction, immediately the cutting machines or whatever can run. Then you want to sell. So there is a lot of opportunities, and you know all this, to put the product directly into your virtual shop. You can put the product in all colors, in all sequence. You can fold it whatever you want. You combine it together with your sales data, that your new collection is only created in a way following your sell-through data in retail and not creating products nobody wants to buy. And so this would be then the closure of the circle. To show you at the very end, the latest stage, which is now about 3 months old. Actually, we are really developing quite fast. How could I do a marketing campaign? This was my question. How could I do a marketing campaign to test the market on a product which is not there? And the marketing campaign must be as professional as possible, and I give you 3 days time. So usually we would go to Marrakesh, we would spend 100,000 euros, make 3 pictures, and try to do it. So this is the result, how to integrate straight into the Unreal Engine and into the new technology which is there. And you are specialists, you know what to see. You see the fabrics, the movements, you see the construction, you see the skin, you see the movement of the eyes, you see the makeup, the hairs. I think it's really state of the art to do this. And again, the fantastic thing is, what we provide the input, and then in your companies you have a lot of opportunities to find 3D artists which are specialized on Unreal Engine. So this is not our business. So we are plugging into the Unreal Engine automatically. So you can go to the market and you can find a lot of people to work with this. As a last chart, maybe to us about our company, so now we are about 600 people. The majority, 350, 380 are software engineers. We do all our software by ourselves. We have 4 research centers. One is in Munich, one is in China, and 2 is in America. We have all the patents on the software and ourselves. And if somebody would start, he starts on the left side on the top. 50,000 assets are in the machine. You just start. You have a full set of patterns, of products, whatever you need. And I think if you talk in the future about digital fashion, you should talk about us.
Definitely. Very, very impressive. Thank you. We can see there's a big transformation within the industry that is possible to come very, very, very soon.
Yeah.
But what is the real impact you presume that will be happening in the
yes,
industry.
definitely. So my personal target and our company's big target is really to make a change in the industry. So it's very easy to count. Each piece of product in the bigger average produces 30 kilo of CO2 emission. Each piece of product. One of my customers in Switzerland, lingerie, we just changed the process over the last 3 months. We did cut out 26,000 samples, salesman samples, production samples, whatever. Nobody produces anymore. 26,000 samples in a half year. Maybe you do 5,000, 3,000, 2,000 in a half year. So in a full year, it's about 50,000 pieces not made anymore. It's 1.5 million kilo CO2 which is saved. And here you can pay a check on it. You can put a number on it. So this kilo, 1 kilo CO2 has a price, has a cost. Don't spend it to the authorities. Save it, put it in your company, and change your process. So this would be my impact. Yeah.
Thank you very much.
Yeah.
I would like to close our session with our latest breathtaking project that we created for TÜBİTAK, Antarctic Research Scientific Team. We created their protective clothes. I would like to close our session with the teaser video of that project.
Okay.
Thank you very much for participating.
Ankara keçisinin tiftiği bu toprakların hazinesi. En büyük özelliği de UV filtresi olması, yani güneşin zararlı ışınlarına karşı bizi koruyor olması. Hava ve su geçirmez kumaşlar elde edebiliyoruz. Bu serüven aslında Ankara'dan Antarktika'ya bir yolculuğun hikayesi.
Türk bilim insanlarının kıyafetlerini yapmak için ve orada hangi ortamda nasıl çalıştıklarını görmek için adaya gidiyoruz. Antarktika'ya vardık. Bugün ilk gün, çok şanslıydık. Hava muazzam. Türk bilim insanlarının daha nitelikli ve giyilebilir teknolojiler giymelerini sağlayacak tasarım projesi bugün burada başladı.
Use your imagination what you will need, because we are very far from everywhere. You need to have the right equipment, because here the enemy is the weather.
Islanmamanız gerekiyor, terlememeniz gerekiyor, sıcak kalmanız gerekiyor, rahat hareket etmeniz gerekiyor, hafif olmanız gerekiyor. Bir dese ki mükemmel kıyafet tanımında herhalde bunların hepsinin olması lazım içinde.
But for instance, when you have these layers and you would put a cotton layer in between,
It's dangerous. It keeps the humidity inside. I'm thinking to use as inside some angora. Hatırlamamız gereken önemli bir şey, kıyafetlerin kendi kendini temizleyebilen, hafif, kolay giyilebilen, çıkartılabilen ve farklı ortamlara da uyum sağlayacak nitelikte olması lazım.
Yaşamsal verileri takip etmeye imkan verecek bir biçimde sensörler geliştirilecek ve bu sisteme uyumlu olarak çalışmasını sağlayacağız.
İhtiyaç odaklı ısıtma sistemi düşündün mü hiç? Mesela diyelim ki düştü, uzun süre hareketsiz kaldı, saatten alacağı bilgiyle devreye giriyor. Burada da aynısını düşün, ısıtma yapıyor.
Sadece mesele endüstriyel ya da mühendislik değil, diğer tarafından bunun bir de stres yükü var.
Zaten iletişim yok, aileden uzak insanlar, zor bir atmosferdesiniz, iklim sürekli değişiyor. Çok ufak detaylarda o motivasyonu kazanıyoruz. Bir kıyafeti giydiğimiz zaman müşteriyle kurduğu ilişki çok önemlidir ama bizimle kurduğu ilişki daha önemlidir. Kocaman bir bayrak içinizde, sırtınızda, sizi taşıyan, sizinle bağ kuran, orada o mesafede ve o uzaklıkta olan bunu diyecek bilim insanlarının ana ekiple bağ kurması çok önemli. Çünkü çok uzaktasınız.
Thank you. Some details of the design project that is still in progress. Thank you for participating.
Thank you.
Thank you.
So we're finished.